Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
Ready, set. Mark 57. Oh, you got D? Check 31. Check 31.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Used to have a coach used to tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
Here's Bortles to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now here's Ross. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory.
Set. 18 Gator. You're out. Go.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. 2nd and 13. That's complete to John Ross. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. 22 yards there, a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
Here we go.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Defensively, that's Earl Thomas, the all-pro safety, knocking it free.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Operating from the gun, Worthington. Now he's forced out left. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. So he got 9 yards that time, but he needed 10, and it brings up 4th and 1.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. And a good result there as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
Early in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back 1st downs.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore 1st down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
Bortles going to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Darquez Denard there defensively. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
36.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven 1st. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
The throw here to Andrews, the tight end. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Bortles. Sliding out of the pocket. He's going to take off with it. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Now Bortles. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up. on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. No score after one on EA Sports.
Justin Hopkins on for the field goal. A 50-yard attempt.
And he hits the upright, but it caroms in anyway. Boy, plenty of distance there as he banks it in. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. Distance wasn't the problem, but he did need some help from the right upright, and he got it. A little kiss and in.
Yeah, unfortunately caught on the inside of the upright, and that pushed it through. This isn't like a baseball foul pole where you hit any part of it and it counts. It's got to go through the post. If he hits it on the outside, that's no good.
Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. No gain on the dump off at 2nd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. On 2nd down, it's King. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
56 is the mic. Touchdown defense.
Back to throw. Worthington. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley made his way into the backfield. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Now Bortles. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
They go play action here on 1st down. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumble. It's loose. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
McManus's point after is good, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Throwing on 1st down is Bortles. Wide open receiver complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Draw play. It's Eckler. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 36, Bortles. He'll get this to Eckler. And he'll go down at the 28. That one a first down pickup of 8. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Throwing now is Bortles. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Geno Atkins got home that time.
Well, no, it takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Bortles. He may try and run for this. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 18. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A throw over the middle, taken in. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he's got it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They come out here in the eye. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Now Bortles again. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Blake Bortles with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Ravens have retaken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
You're looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Hopkins with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But boy, getting into field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
And getting our first update now from Nashville. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Looking to throw. Worthington. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And he's got this down to the 35. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, Worthington. Open man is Ross, complete. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
To John Ross. A gain of 13 yards. First down, Bengals.
Ready up. 40's Mike, right there. 40's Mike. I got him.
On first down, Worthington. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. 2 yards, good enough for a first. So we've hit halftime, and just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. On second down now, it's King, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Who's on 85? Come on, baby. Let's get this. We got it.
Right back to him on first down. And some nifty running there. Ultimately, it doesn't get him a whole lot, but it does take him to the 45. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
2nd and 4. He's going to have the hook up to Ross, and he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 43.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll run on first down. King. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
To throw on 2nd down. Worthington, he's going to float this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time, and it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 27-yard line.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Set. 60 Pittsburgh.
Throwing on 1st down. Worthington, and the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, it feels like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Play action. Now it's Bortles. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
You better be ready next time.
So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this 2nd half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball. Ready?
On play action, now Bortles. He can run for it, and he will. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Now here's Michael Dixon, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Ross on the return. The great blocking nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Elsewhere, 2nd half action at Heinz Field. No problem for the Steelers. They have opened that lead up a bit further. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to rifle one. That's caught at the 25. 33 yards that time.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pumps from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Max 56. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get just 2 out of it there, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here's second and 8. This is caught, and he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Davante Adams, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are once again going to retake the lead. McManus now for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a Bengals score. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th.
Set, ready? 10-2 start. What we got? What we got? What we got? Check 15. Check 15. 5.
This is a counter play. Eckler. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one, because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. Got him in, it's Brown. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 23 yards, the final tally. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
It also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
It's just me and you.
Again, they'll throw with Bortles. It's complete to Snead. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Bortles now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Eckler. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. It's Eckler again. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Bortles. And that is incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Bortles to throw for it on 4th down. And no, it's incomplete. The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And the Bengals will get the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Again, it's Mixon. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And this will be touchdown inside the 20. They'll spot it at the 18-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second-guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going out offense.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them a lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Bortles. This will be caught by Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Great gains back-to-back. Last time over 30 yards, better than 20 here. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He'll look to throw, escaping the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Clock running as Bortles hurries to try to get his guys set. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score, and he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. King. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
That's right, baby. They don't want it. Shift. Right.
And to give this time to the tailback. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Here we go. AT Gator. Wild Bill. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And that will hit and continue on out of bounds.
Brandon, you're never quite sure what the side judge or the field judge is going to rule there. That was awfully close, but in the end, he says it passed over the 1 yard line, and that's where they're going to mark it out. I mean, you can see it right there, right? See him walking up the sideline? Told him to stop right there at the 1.
So the Ravens now down by 4, a little under 30 seconds remaining. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Got it? Mike, 57. Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he is going to go down in the end zone. Down goes Bortles. It's a safety. And that disastrous play, partner, is ultimately going to seal their fate in this one, isn't it?
It certainly is, because they give up the 2 points, but that's not really what did it. It's happened to give up the football. And because they gave up the football, guess what? The other team now can take the ball and close this game out.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. Here's King. The Bengals drive about to get going, and they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever.